Did the Lakers make their biggest mistake so far by signing JJ Redick as a head coach, or was this the right move to give them a fresh start? The world of basketball is divided into those who praise JJ for his IQ and think he'll make a good coach, and those who see the situation as a total catastrophe. The truth is, probably somewhere in the middle, and today we're diving deep to analyze how all of this will impact the Lakers as a franchise. Hello basketball fans, and welcome back to Hoop Vision. Before we start the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It takes only a second, costs nothing, and will give you access to more basketball stories. If you take a look at JJ's career as a player, the idea of him becoming a coach doesn't sound too crazy. It's just that the circumstances around it is making the Lakers' decision controversial. If any mediocre team named him a head coach, there wouldn't be near as much of a hype as there is now. Back in the day, JJ Redick was considered one of the best role players in the league. He was drafted by Orlando in 2006 and then took the chance given after some of his teammates got hurt. At first, he had some trouble fitting in, but after a while, JJ was known for his three-point shot and incredible work ethic. His runs with both the Clippers and Philadelphia were nothing short of amazing, as he was an important piece on both rosters. And what's crazy is that his teams made the playoffs 15 times out of his 16 seasons in the league. The guy retired with a 12.8 points per game average on 41.5% from downtown. Not many guards can boast around with those three-point percentages. His career best came back in the 2015 through 16 season with the Clippers, when JJ shot 47.5% from beyond the arc and led the league in that regard. Crazy. What every coach liked about him was his shot selection and his ability to read the situation on the court. In other words, the boy was smart. Even back in high school and college, Redick was always a team leader and even played with an injury when needed. There was a time when he struggled with maintaining discipline and got in trouble with Coach K, but it was that time that made him realize the importance of making and following a schedule. Since then, organized JJ Redick was born, and later on, he'd become one of those players whom everyone knew for their hard work in their gym. Despite everyone hating on him right now, there might be a couple of arguments that back up JJ's chances of actually becoming a very good coach. First, there's no denying his playing experience will only be a plus on his new job. There's a unique level of understanding the game that cannot be acquired any other way. JJ Redick was also regarded as one of the best teammates to have around, so it wouldn't take too long before he establishes good chemistry with the players. Yes, his age might be a factor when it comes to authority, but it's obvious a lot of players around the league respect him already for his playing resume and everything he's shown on the court and as a TV analyst. When he was breaking down plays in post-game interviews or discussing different strategies and approaches with LeBron on their podcast, JJ Redick showed to the world he views basketball as almost like a game of chess. That's why it seems like the biggest obstacle to JJ as a head coach won't be any lack of competence, but whether he'll be able to establish a presence that radiates with the rest of the roster. This is where his relationship with LeBron comes in. And if you know LeBron, the situation with him is never comfortable if he isn't on the same page with his coach. Luckily, Redick and James have so much respect for each other that it's hard to imagine how things could potentially blow up between them. People are saying LeBron dragged him to LA just to use him as a scapegoat at the end of the season. But couldn't he have done that with any other coach? Why throw your business partner under the bus and sabotage your podcast? There's a much bigger probability that the Lakers are cooking a big trade behind the scenes. LeBron could take a huge massive pay cut as a free agent next year and bring Jimmy Butler, DeRozan, or convince Paul George to join him for one last run. If LeBron agrees to a lower salary and the Lakers move D'Lo, Reeves, and Rui in a potential trade deal, then they'd have so much free cap space they could actually become instantly competitive. People quickly forget AD is still one of the best big men in the league, and the only thing preventing the Lakers from being a serious contender is a lack of a third star and bench depth. They could get both this summer or throughout the season, so it'd be way too early to give up the Lakers. Steve Kerr won his first title in his first year, so no one can say it wouldn't be possible. Kerr was a GM before becoming a coach, but that doesn't have to mean anything if all the pieces fall together for JJ Redick and LA. Throughout his career, JJ was coached by many great names like the legendary Coach K, Stan Van Gundy, Scott Skiles, and Brett Brown, so it's not like he didn't have the chance to learn from some really good coaching minds. And a way to increase your chances of winning money this offseason is with OddsJam. OddsJam is the top choice for data-driven sports betting, tracking over 260 sportsbooks in real time. With OddsJam, you'll become a profitable sports bettor using strategies similar to those employed by successful investors and traders. How does it work? Thanks to the OddsJam arbitrage tool, which identifies discrepancies in sports betting lines across the market. This tool finds arbitrage betting opportunities, guaranteeing risk-free profits by spotting these differences. You can even bet on both sides of the market and still make a profit. But that's not all. OddsJam also offers a positive EV calculator to help you optimize your bet sizes and a bet tracker to monitor your profits across all your sportsbooks accounts. By using OddsJam, you'll bet smarter and more responsibly, leading to long-term profitability. Plus, they're so confident in their product that they offer a 7-day free trial. Ready to try it out? Use code HOOP for a 35% discount on your first month. And thanks OddsJam for the sponsor. If you take a look at the NBA, there have been other guards stepping into coaching waters pretty successfully. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and Chauncey Billups have all experienced their both sweet and bitter moments as coaches, but none of them were as scrutinized as JJ Redick. At first, one reason for that could probably be their starting age. Steve Kerr and Steve Nash were 48 when they became head coaches, and JJ was just a few days away from being 40 when he was offered the job. However, Jason Kidd was also 40 when he took over the Bucks, and no one said a word about him being too young or inexperienced to lead the franchise. So this is all probably about JJ's relationship with LeBron and how much of an influence he's had on the Lakers' choice of coach. Of course, LeBron deserves some notoriety for messing with front office decisions everywhere he goes. When he was in Miami, he was the one choosing role players like James Jones, Mike Miller, etc. Then he goes back to Cleveland and fires the coach that got them to the finals and appoints Ty Lue, with whom he has a great relationship. After that, he dismantled the Lakers' championship squad because he got hurt over losing to Phoenix in the first round, and brings in Westbrook, who was supposed to add more star power to the team but became the meme instead. It's no surprise people would be mad at James for pulling moves for his front offices and calling him GM or lead GM, shout out to Chris Smoove, but JJ shouldn't receive the heat because he definitely has all the qualities that would make him a coach down the line. Unfortunately, his relationship with LeBron will put him under the magnifying glass for the entirety of next season, and every loss they take will probably be talked about as the biggest catastrophe in basketball ever. This season, the Lakers had a coach who went to the conference finals with them the previous year, but lost all momentum throughout the season by not addressing the gap that started to grow between him and the players. First, it was LeBron who didn't like many of Coach Ham's decisions, and then it was the rest of the roster. When the cart started going downhill, it was obvious who'd be the scapegoat. There were plenty of times during timeouts when Ham would be drawing the play and the players would just walk around showing no interest in what was being discussed. Hopefully, JJ Redick won't experience the same thing, and since he's good friends with LeBron, he probably wouldn't let anyone get away with disrespecting his choice of coach. On the plus side, JJ has shown so much creativity in terms of coming up with plays for different scenarios, but it's one thing to do it talking on a podcast and completely another to do it in the heat of the moment when the game is on the line. James, AD, and Dinwiddie are the only players with less than a 10-year gap between theirs and their coach's age, so the argument JJ will be disrespected because he's too young to be a coach doesn't stand ground. Just take a look at Joe Mazzulla and you'll see what happens when there's a mutual respect between the players and their coach. If you asked any of the current Lakers whether they'd like having Prime Redick as their teammate, 100% of them would probably say hell yes. So everyone leans towards them not having a problem with him being their head coach. The biggest challenge the guys in purple and yellow will have all season long is turning off the noise and focusing only on basketball-related issues. If they can keep their focus and eliminate all distractions, they could pull off an upset that would be discussed for decades. Just imagine if all stars aligned in LeBron's favor and he manages to win another title with another star like Jimmy Butler, a first-year coach he picked, and his son drafted to the roster. The amount of TV talk would be unbearable. Luckily, this is all just a theory for now, so all that's left to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy this NBA summer as it keeps bringing us more and more interesting things that spice up the time we spend waiting for the season to start. That's it for today, dear friends. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments below, what do you think of JJ Redick as a coach, and how far will the Lakers go next year? Thank you for watching and growing this channel. Make sure you don't miss out on more NBA stories by hitting that subscribe button. See you in the next one.